So after Seymour, we adopted another greyhound, and his name was Gil. Now, Gil was not quite as big as Seymour. Gil was pretty big too, but he was not quite as tall as Seymour was, and not quite as long. Like I said, Seymour was quite big, but Gil was handsome. So Gil was blonde, and he had a few scars on his face because greyhounds, when they race, their skin is quite sensitive, so they can get scraped up quite easily. And so he had a few scars on his face, but they really added to his character. And we used to joke that he kind of looked like a young Robert Redford, right? Because he had he was very fair looking and that. But yeah, Gil was just amazing. Gil and I got really close. And Gil was with us for a long time. So Gil was 3 when he came to live with us, and he was fresh off the track. Like he had been racing in Florida. He was born in Texas. They had moved to Florida. He had raced primarily in Florida, and so his life was in Florida. And then when his career came to an end, I believe it was right around the time of the big recession, so 2008, around there, and it affected presumably the track that he raced on, and so he went out for adoption, and literally he had raced his last race maybe 3 months before he came to live with us. Right, he had been with a foster family for that time, maybe 6 months. I'm not sure. It wasn't a year. So he had been racing not that long ago, and Gil and I just hit it off right away. And we had a special relationship. But Gil got so well known in our neighborhood. So Gil lived with us for 9 years. Gil was with us for 9 years, and we had such a beautiful time with him. So, but he got so well known. This is not a word of a lie. I used to take Gil for walks around our neighborhood. We've got a beautiful park in our neighborhood with a lake, and there's a nice trail around it. And a lot of people, walk there and jog and walk their dogs and ride bikes, and there's an arena in the area and stuff like that, right? So Gil and I used to walk there all the time. I would take him for a walk, and there would be people who knew him but didn't know me, right? Like I never forget one time Gil and I are walking, and there was these people who were, and they're like, "Oh, there's Gil. Hi, Gil." And I've never seen those. I do not know who those people were, but they knew who Gil was. And that may sound goofy to you guys, but it's I'm serious. Like he was so distinctive and so well known and super friendly. He was so good with other dogs. He was so good with people. He kind of had a life unto his own, even though he every place he ever went was either with me or with my wife. I kind of got known as the guy who walks Gil, right? Because he was known and I wasn't. So yeah, that was Gil, and unfortunately, like I said, Gil lived for 9 years. He was 13 when he passed on. Yeah, I guess he was 4 when he moved in with us. Yeah, so. Gil I really miss a lot. He was very, very special to me, very, very dear to my heart.